This podcast is not intended to usurp or undermine the authority of your spiritual leadership. Our aim is to support the spiritual growth of our listeners.
Just
you
in
want to
case
add
you
in
have
there?
to cut. My husband just motivates himself by scaring himself. Like, I don't want to be fat like my parents.
That's a motivator.
And then we went to an air show.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of larger
Yes.
pilots. And he was like, I don't want to be them.
Right.
So then he ordered a salad and okay.
Well, that's a means. If that's as long, he doesn't want to be heavier because number one, you lose function.
Mm-hmm.
You can't walk, run, jump, be active.
Well, and his job. I mean, they do have medical.
Yeah, medical stuff.
Checks.
Checks.
Yeah.
He probably wants to be around for, his kids.
Yeah.
And yeah, we want to look nice too. But then again, that if that's a motivator for him, then let
It's
it be.
totally like fear is his motivation.
Right. Some people are motivated to live for God by fear of hell. So, I mean, that's how it works too.
That works.
I mean, not for many people, but some people it does. So.
But don't you think sometimes we get in trouble because we live in such a society. We live in a drive-through society. So we think everything's supposed to happen like that.
Right.
And we don't think long term, and we don't think, okay, it's going to take one day at a time. And I like what you always say, you got to show yourself grace.
Yes.
So if you have a bad day, if you make a bad choice, it's okay.
Yes.
Don't say, oh, I'm just going to give up.
Right.
This
Do we do
isn't
that with our walk
working.
with God when we mess up?
No.
We give ourselves grace. He gives us grace.
And it is a
Yeah.
long-term thing.
It's a long-term goal.
It takes time.
And it's one baby step at a time. So many times when I
Exactly.
counsel people, I say, just choose 2 or 3 things. Just 2 or 3 things that you know that you're doing right now that are self-sabotaging yourself to living healthy. I don't talk about weight. Especially to teenagers, I do not talk about weight. Because, personally, I had an eating disorder starting in high school just because my aunt said, wow, you look thick. And I was like, oh, I do. Well, not anymore, so anorexia, here it comes. The women in general are very sensitive about their bodies, and men are becoming more sensitive about their bodies too, but there's a lot of shame involved.
Yeah.
And if there's a lot of shame involved, then guess what? People give up, and then they don't care. And so the best, key to not be ashamed and not feel that guilt is to give yourself grace that you're doing what you can. Now, you can't just give yourself grace, be like, I don't care, but I'm just going to give myself grace today again. No.
No.
Do what you can.
Right.
Then, give yourself grace. Yeah. So,
Most definitely.
yeah, definitely. So motivation is a big thing to eating healthy. People are short term. That's how we live in this society. Delayed gratification isn't our cup of tea. Even though delaying our own pleasure or gratification with food actually is to our mental health benefit.
Yes.
And even for children, for growing and for learning. So, there's that fixed mindset where, I need the A's to succeed, when the growth mindset is, I want to enjoy learning. Mm-hmm. So there's a different mindset. And one causes anxiety and the other one causes joy. And that's the same thing with food. Food can cause you anxiety. Oh my word, I have to eat healthy today. I have 1,500 calories, and this donut right here is 500. So I can only have one donut and maybe a glass of water, And guess what you think about all day? Food.
Yes.
So food becomes an idol. Mm-hmm. So sometimes eating healthy or not eating healthy and eating junk, that food can be your idol, where it's your comfort instead of God. Right. And it can also be the other side where you're obsessively trying to eat healthy, and then you're thinking about food all day, and it's an idol. You're not thinking about ministry. Maybe I should call this one person. They might need encouraged. You're not thinking about, how can I be used in ministry today? You're thinking about, I ate, you're beating yourself up over that donut. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I just tell people, go eat the donut. Get it over with. And the other thing is just, we are creatures, we're rebellious creatures. We are a broken people. So we are rebellious. If I tell you don't eat that, guess what you're going to want to do? Eat it. Kids do it all the time.
It's true.
But if we have choice, that's where empowerment comes. So when we have choice with food, and that's why when we become a society where you don't have a choice and you're, forced to eat certain things, that's when you're, it's just not good. But we aren't forced to eat certain things. We have a choice. But society wants you to think that this is the norm, because it is the norm. But I would think that as apostolics, or even just as Christians, we need to go against the norm, go against the grain. We are not one to want to flow with the flow. We do not go with the river. I am one where if everybody's going this way, I evaluate, assess, and I'm going that way. I don't want to follow the crowd. Because oftentimes people are just oblivious, distracted, following whatever, not thinking, trusting blindly. And that's not the way we need to be. And the word specifically says we need to, you can look throughout the Bible, steward your body, take care of it. Whatever you do to the glory of God. And so, what do you think prayer would look like at mealtime if we would pray just a little bit different way? So what could be I'll give an example of a prayer, but what could be like a good prayer before we eat meals to glorify God with our food and what we do to our bodies?
I'd say thanking him for giving us the food.
Yeah.
Thank you for making it.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah. That we had the energy to make it.
Yeah.
Let it be nutritious to my body.
Yeah, we wanted it to be nutritious to our body. Now, it doesn't mean you can't have cake every now and then, but for the most part, the food that we eat.
I think also, for me, each day I ask the Lord, please help me make good food choices today.
Yes, that's exactly help me to make good food choices. Many times people have self-discipline and they fail because self-discipline, you will fail.
Yes.
Most and all of the time when it's self-discipline. But when it's God discipline and when you're depending on God, that is where you will succeed. And that is where, when I was going through my hard time, even as an adult trying to get through an eating disorder, I would pray before each meal. I would say, Lord, because I didn't know how much to eat. So when you overeat, your body actually, here, let me back up. So when you're a baby and your mom gives you milk, you know when you're full. They turn their face away. They're done, right?
Right.
They know when they're done eating. Their body says, okay. However, as we get older, and as parents from the depression age that they grew up in, clean your plate. There's people in Africa starving. Eat everything on your plate.
Yeah.
Guess what you do? You ignore
that
feeling or your body trying to tell it to stop eating.
Yes.
That is internal. That is a God-given gift to us to keep our weight where it needs to be. So that turns off. The problem is when you try to eat healthy, you don't know where it is anymore. So sometimes in counseling, we literally have to slow down because it takes 20 minutes for your body to actually recognize there's actually food in your stomach, okay? To actually tell yourself to stop eating. 20 minutes. How long do you think it takes us to eat? 10. Scarf. And your body doesn't even recognize it yet. So 20 minutes, if you can slow down. But it takes 20 minutes. And there's tools out there that, when we do counseling is, how full do you feel? Or what's the feeling in your body? Mindful eating, the mouthfeel, things of that nature. Then we can go the other end where you restrict so much that you're afraid of food and you're not even hungry anymore. Like you've gone to the point when food doesn't even when people that are in depression, food doesn't even sound good. So you don't even like have a desire to eat. I've been there too. When I was like, I don't even want to eat, but food doesn't sound good. I'm not going to eat that. So that's where you pray and say, Lord, I really want to do well for my body because you gave me this body to steward, to do ministry and to worship you. God, I want my meal to honor you, and I want to choose wisely. Help me today to do that. Now, part of that is giving yourself grace of, 80% of the time we eat healthy, 20% not so healthy. Because yes, I do allow my daughter to eat junk food every now and then. We live in a world that it's there. And you don't want to be too restrictive, otherwise it starts to become legalistic, okay? So just, if we change the way that we prayed at meal times, and even praying where, Lord, let me know when to stop eating or how much to eat for my body. Because everybody's body's different on portion sizes. So actually, when we do like some counseling, I usually tell people your portion size is usually the size of your fist when it comes to like a pile of mashed potatoes or pile of rice. Your palm is usually the size of a meat patty, is usually what's best for you. Larger hands, larger patties. Smaller hands, smaller patties. But the food industry, they definitely, what do they give you at meal times when you go out to eat? They give you what portion sizes?
I'd say very big.
Very big.
Like,
they want you to
yeah.
get what you paid for, right?
Like 5 fists.
5 fists full. And in your brain, you think, well, if they gave it to me, I need to eat it all. Because you get in that habit as a child. My mom gave me this amount of food. I need to eat it all. And then you don't really listen to your body because your mom or your dad may have made you eat everything on your plate, even though you weren't wanting to eat it all. So then you started ignoring your own signals. And so you eat all of it, and do you feel great after that? Do you feel ready to go take on the world?
No.
No.
You're
So
ready
our
for a
food
nap.
is supposed to be so originally, when we first started talking, you said our food was for energy, for nutrients. How do you feel most of the time after you eat some of the foods that we have?
I'd say very bloated, very
Bloated?
tired.
Tired? Yeah.
Not
Boy,
energetic.
you really want to go out there and do ministry if you feel bloated and tired, right?
Right.
No, you don't.
It's not my cooking though.
But
Clarify.
since you're a good example of food industry, right?
She does great. She is a healthy eater.
But when she doesn't, though, then you feel it.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm the same way. Well, I'll eat healthy most of the time, but when I have something where I'm just like, I think I'll have that. Go to the fair and I'll have whatever that is, and I'm just like, I don't feel very good. And people eat this on a daily basis. I'm like, they must feel bad all the time. But then your body gets something called homeostasis, where they actually get used to it. Your body likes to survive. All about surviving. So your blood sugars could be 600 and you feel just fine. Because your body, over time, it went up to 300 or 200. Your body will try to balance it out to try to, okay, I can survive at 200 blood sugar. Oh, it's up to 300. Oh, I can try to survive at 300. And it gets higher and higher. And then at 600, 700, then your body freaks out and is like, I got to go into a coma now. But, that whole time you thought you were fine because you were in homeostasis, your insides were being destroyed because of diabetes. Mm-hmm. And, you get that neuropathy where like the ends of your fingers start to, the nerve endings start to die, your eyes start to get worse. There's all of these, this could preach right here. There's all of these side effects. You thought you were doing fine when the inside, because you felt fine, but your insides were not fine. And then because you kept making these, poor choices or whatever, then it all hits you and you have diabetes and you have losing your feet because there's no nerve endings and you can't see because of the diabetes, all of these things.
And dialysis.
I was a kidney dietitian for about 7 years, and so many people, they were in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. They said, if I would have just been younger and walked through a dialysis clinic just to see what could have happened to me, I might have changed my ways. And then it's too late. Mm-hmm. They're on dialysis. So, you know, I don't know how I got on that tangent, but
Thanks for tuning in to the HV Church podcast. We hope this episode encouraged and inspired you in your walk with God. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And feel free to share this podcast with a friend or family member who might need to hear it. If you want to learn more about HV Church or connect with us, visit hvchurch.com or follow us on our social media pages. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.